Hello, 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 and welcome to day 5 of 7 days to success. Today is a really fun one. It's all about embodying the next level version of you and how you can step into your power and remove the gap between you and your desires. So this is just a really nice follow on because you've done all the hard work now. You've done all that kind of like shadow self, looking at all your limited beliefs. And now we're in like the rewiring process, right? You're doing all your tapping, you're doing all your shaking, you're deciding what you want your new beliefs to be. And now that you have these new belief systems kind of like brewing within your subconscious, you've got these new neuro connections happening in your brain going towards this new belief system that you want, these new almost like new thought patterns, I want to say. Like now you're starting to change your thought patterns from I can't do this to I can do this, and I'm so broken, I'm always broken, the world is against me, to money's all around me, there's multiple ways for me to make money, money's an abundant source and it's just energy. So now we're starting to change our thought patterns because we've gone through our limiting beliefs, and now you're doing the tapping, the shaking, the nervous system regulation, you're doing all of those things. You know how the mindset works, and you know what tools you have. You have an array of tools that I've given you, and it's just about finding your favorite ones. And because you're able to regulate your nervous system, you're able to react differently when these things trigger us in our lives, because we're going to get triggers every single day. And actually, I wanted to give an example. I had one today, and I have the same trigger every time with my partner, where there's this thing around petrol, and obviously like petrol has become more expensive these days, and there's nothing I can do about it, right? The prices of things are going up, end of. All I can do is focus on making more money. So to me, it seems irrelevant to dwell on these things. But for my husband, who we're very opposite, and he doesn't even realize that he's doing it, and he doesn't even mean it in a negative money mindset way, but it triggers me. So we'll be driving the car and he's like, oh, we need more petrol. And I looked at the thing and I was like, it's on like half a tank. What are you on about? He's like, yeah, well, like soon. I was like, but it seems like a really irrelevant thing to say. Like, and normally it really triggers like an old money trauma from my childhood about there not being enough, about there being lack and all these things. And I felt myself get super triggered. But I've been working really hardly on regulating my nervous system, and I make sure to do it every single day, sometimes multiple times a day, and often when I'm being triggered. So I took some deep breaths and I thought, how am I reacting here? Does it warrant a reaction? Because the more I react, the more he's just going to do it. And he doesn't even realize why he's doing it. And he's never ever doing it in a malicious way. It's how I'm taking it, because I'm taking it personally. So this is a part of my fight or flight response. And I can feel my heart rate going and my anxiety going, being like, oh my God, petrol is so expensive. Oh my God, we're having to put like so much money in like every few days. And then I was like, no, in return for this, we get a car. I'm able to take my son to nursery. I'm able to drive to the shops. I'm able to drive to see my mum. Like, I'm super grateful for the petrol that goes into my car. I'm so grateful for the exchange that happens between the petrol in my car and what it gives me. That money is worth it to me. It's not money down the drain. I get something in return for that money. And so I was just like, oh yeah, well, maybe next time just tell me when it's on red, and then we'll get petrol when it's on red, because it seems like a really irrelevant thing to say when it's got half a tank. And then I changed the subject completely, and I was like, anyway, what are we doing later? And I just completely was able to change my reaction to it. And that's what I mean about regulating your nervous system. You're going to get better and better and better at this, especially just having that awareness of being like, what's going on here actually? Before I react, what's going on? And the whole part of this call today is basically so you can stop putting the next level version of you on a pedestal. In fact, stop putting anyone or anything on a pedestal. Celebrities, influencers, your family, your friends, people that you deem to be more successful, more popular, skinnier, whatever it might be. Stop putting them on this pedestal in your mind of like they are this better person up here and they are so much further away from me than where I am. Because what you're doing is you're putting so much distance between where you are now and where you want to be. And I don't know how you might see it in your brain or how you visualize it, but in my brain, when I think about things like this, when I put them so far into the future and so far away from who I am, because maybe I see the jump in money being this big gap between us, but I could almost see it. It's like a massive stretch of road between us. And sometimes, a lot of the time, for our subconscious, that is super overwhelming. That is just too much to tackle. They're like, that is just too far away. Or that person is just too high on that pedestal. There's no way I'm going to make it up there. And often what people try and do actually is they try and bring you back down. If they see you as the person on that pedestal, they're going to try and bring you back down to your level, when the best thing is that we all just rise. We all just see ourselves on this level playing field, because we are. Nobody is more special or more deserving than the other person. When we are all brought into this world, when we are born, nobody is stamped with worthy, not worthy, rich, not rich, famous, not famous, right? We all come into this world exactly the same, with the exact same level of worthiness and deserving of our dreams and our goals and our desires. So nobody is more special than the other person, okay? Everybody is unique and special in their own amazing way. Whether you have money, don't have money, have fame, don't have fame, have the, picture perfect body, relationship, whatever it is, you are special regardless of all of that, because you are just you. And if you are in the vibration of waiting, so you're like waiting to be that person, you're like hoping and trying, you're always going to be in that vibration of waiting, which means you will always be waiting. So we need to shift into the vibration of, I have it. It is already done. I already have it. Not I'm going to have it. Not one day I hope to have it, but I already have it. It's a completely different thing of knowing something is done and manifested and hoping it will and waiting for it to turn up. Also, I know it's called law of attraction, but we are not sitting here waiting for our manifestation. We are rising to meet it. The minute your heart decides that it wants something, the minute you set out your intention, it is already done. And it is there in a timeline, ready for you to meet it at that vibration. You're not waiting for it to like build into something and then come into your life. No, the universe has done its part. It's co-creation with the universe. Once you decide that you want something, it is already made and ready to go. And then you need to do your co-part to meet it at that vibration. Digressed a little bit there. And one thing that I wanted to touch on that actually I completely forgot to do like within the first couple of videos, but this was like a massive game changer for me when I first started looking into the mindset stuff. And I just want to say I got this from the Manifestation Babe course, so I want to give all credit to her. But it's called the hierarchy of change, I think. Yeah. And basically it's how we change. It's how we change our limited beliefs. It's how we change our lives. It's how we change our habits. And what often happens is we only focus on these ones down here. However, that's never going to work, because if we don't change our identity, I mean, spirit, you don't really change because you come here as spirit, right? So you have certain values and beliefs and things you want to achieve. But your, not beliefs, we're going to change your beliefs, but certain values and things that you care about and things you want to achieve in this lifetime. And that's what your spirits come here to do. But your identity is what we want to change, because let's say you want to become a healthier person. And so all you do is focus on the environment and the results and the behaviors. So you go and get like a cute new outfit and you sign to a gym membership, but then you never go. And it's because you haven't decided on an identity level that you're a healthy person. And I would imagine that your spirit wants you to be healthy. So that's already done. But what we need to change is the identity. Like often we'll say things like, I'm lazy, I've got the fat gene in my family. You know, we find it really hard to lose weight in this family. We hold on to weight after we have babies. That's been an interesting one for me. And this is something that I'm actually working on. And it's so true. It's so fucking true, because the first thing I did after I had my son was I had a PT. I was going to the gym, but I was using a lot of force and willpower to make myself go, because I didn't change my identity. I didn't change what I believed either. I didn't change my values or my beliefs. I still believed that it's hard to lose weight when you have a baby. I believed that I easily put on weight and I find it hard to lose it. I struggle to not eat chocolate all the time because I'm obsessed with chocolate. Like I didn't change any of my beliefs or my identity. And so that trickles down here to your behaviors and your environment. And I think I spoke about this like in one of the first videos, where I spoke about how your thoughts create your feelings and your feelings create your actions, right? So that's what's happening here. Your thoughts and your beliefs will create a certain feeling, and that feeling will create a certain action, which is your behaviors, which will create certain results. So if I believe that I'm an unhealthy person, my actions are going to result in unhealthy behaviors, which in my eyes is going to result in unhealthy results. So the whole goal of this is to change our identity, to change our beliefs, and that will trickle down into our behaviors. And what I've noticed with this work is that when you are actually doing that, so identifying your limiting beliefs, using the tools to change your limiting beliefs into something that you want, you start embodying the work and taking inspired action. That inspired action actually is so much easier than you think it's going to be. And often you will just do something. It's so bizarre. So actually, I had another win. I might do a thread in the Facebook group. I had another win this week, this morning. I checked my bank account and there was some extra money in there. And I was like, I don't recognize who that came from. Didn't recognize the name that it came under. So that's really odd. I'm not sure what that's for. But literally a few days before, I had randomly filled in a form that I'd forgotten to do for like a rebate or something. And I was like, oh, damn, I think it's late. Whatever. It'll take me 2 seconds. I'll just quickly do it because whatever, I've been meaning to do it. So let me just tick it off my list. Quickly did it, thought nothing of it, completely forgot about it, checked my bank this morning, and then I realized it was from that form, from that rebate. That was all very, very easy to have money come into my life that way. It was an extra £120 or whatever. And I was like, oh shit, that is what it means. Like, I identify as someone who has money come in from multiple places. I've changed my belief system about that, how money can come in from anywhere. I've been using the tools and techniques to help me shift those limiting beliefs into more positive beliefs. And then my behavior was instinct. My behavior was using my intuition, but I listened and it felt easy. Versus when I'm working from fear and from ego and from desperation, it will be, oh my God, I identify someone who is really in lack. I'm really struggling. I really need money. And I believe that money is really hard to come by. So let me just work out how I can sell some more products and really, really hustle and push and force the behavior in order to force the result in the environment. But what happens is that I never get the result that I want anyway. I hope this is making sense. It really was like a light bulb moment for me. So I want you to start thinking about who you are as this version of you that has all of your goals, your dreams, the intention that you set at the beginning of the week. Who is that version of you? Because we're going to start to embody her now. So we're going to close that gap of being like, she's this person over here who I don't recognize, and we're going to start to embody her. So you're basically quantum leaping. This is why we talk about quantum leaping, because you're going to step into that version of yourself who already has it. So your desire shows what's possible for you. So I want you to know that when you set this intention, when you had this desire, whatever your goals and your dreams are, I want you to know that you had that thought and you had that desire because it is something that is actually available to you. It is a sign to you that it's meant to be yours. You don't have those desires in your heart for no reason. I promise you they are planted there because it is your God-given right to have them. Okay? And if you already had that thing, that intention that you set on day one, ideally, I would stick to just like one thing for now because I want you to build up your belief in manifestation and in your power. And who is that version of you? And you can have a lot of fun with this. Like, you cannot get this wrong. Like, really, like, get your notebook out, get your journal out, and just start describing her. Like, how would you describe this person who has, let's say you're manifesting your extra £1,000, you know, what are you spending it on? Have some fun with that as well. Like, money loves direction. Money loves to follow the flow. Like, it loves to be wanted. It loves to be desired. It loves to be, you want to like be grateful for this money. So what are you spending it on? Like, really have fun with this. Like, try not to just be like, I want to put all £1,000 into credit card debt, because that's no fun, right? I mean, you could do a little bit if that makes you feel good. If that feels aligned, you could say, okay, half of it's going towards that, but then £200, it's going to be a weekend away or a night away in London. And then this other £100 is going to be savings, because that makes me feel so abundant knowing that I've got excess. What is it you want to spend your money on? Give it some direction, but also describe this person who has it. How does she feel? What kind of person is she? Is she an author? So this is when we start thinking about our bigger goals, maybe. Did you put down that you want to write a book? Do you want to be a millionaire? Do you want to win awards? Do you want to be the most incredible, conscious parent who is reading books about parenting because she has time, who takes her family away on retreats because she has the time and the money? Is she powerful? Is she a creator of her own destiny? Is she a leader in her business? Is she on the cover of Forbes magazine? And what do they believe to be true about life? If you had your goals and dreams and desires, what must this person believe to be true? Do they believe that money is easy? Do they believe that money is abundant? Do they believe that money helps more people? The more you have, the more you can give. And what do they believe to be true about relationships? If you obviously, I always end up talking about money because for me, it's a really important factor because I think so much stems from there. And but you could do it like if you're doing it with health, what must they believe to be true about health, about their body? Maybe they believe that they can eat anything they want and have the body of their dreams. Maybe they believe that they find it easy to get up and do exercise. Maybe they find it easy to eat healthy. Maybe they love to nourish their body and take care of their body. And what do they believe to be true about relationships? If that was one of your intentions, is to have better relationships. And what are they consuming? We spoke about the mind and how susceptible it is to everything that we're consuming. We spoke about all the rules of the mind. So now that you know the rules, what are some things you can do to kind of like hack it? Well, we can stop gossiping. We can start consuming better content. So maybe they read books, maybe they listen to audios, maybe they listen to podcasts, maybe they change the conversation when things get negative around friends and family. And who do they spend time with? Maybe they spend time with more successful people. And I don't just mean ditch all your friends and family. I freaking love every single person in my life. And the good thing is that positive energy will always outweigh negative. So it doesn't matter if your friends and family are negative because you can change the conversation and you can change the whole vibe in the room by being the most positive person that turns up to that room. Okay, so you don't have to cut everybody out. I'm just saying, like, be conscious of what's happening and what's being said when you're in that room and how can you shift the energy in that room, take responsibility for that. Like I said, it has such an amazing ripple effect. People will be so grateful that are around you. I have so many people now like talk to me about mindset manifestation who I didn't think were interested in. It's just, I absolutely fucking love it. So, but who else are you spending your time with? Maybe you want to find other people who are into mindset. And maybe you start hanging out with them as well, just to kind of like really increase your circle of people who are into this kind of stuff. And how do they show up day to day? Do they show up for their business? Do they show up for themselves? Do they show up for their health? What do they wear? Do they put makeup on? Do they do their hair? Maybe they don't. Maybe they live in their loungewear. Maybe they have slow mornings. Like maybe they read their book in the morning. Maybe they go for a nice long walk. Like, what does that version of you look like? Because you'll know what that is. And you cannot get this wrong, okay? Anything that you write down is right for you. Don't worry about what somebody else is writing about themselves. Don't worry about what a celebrity looks like or dresses like or stands like. Like, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about you. And basically, what makes that person different? What makes that person in your future? So let's say the millionaire Emma. What makes her different to who I am now? What is she doing differently? What is she feeling? Does she feel abundant? Does she feel happy? Does she feel satisfied? Does she feel calm? Does she feel at peace? Does she feel powerful? Does she feel confident? Like, and what are her thoughts? What's going on in her head day to day? Well, she must be thinking some really good thoughts. She must be like so proud of herself. She must feel so capable. She must feel so aligned. And what is she embodying differently? Well, she's got a different money mindset. She knows when to rest. She is present when she spends time with her son. Like, what are these things that I can start thinking of? Because these are the things that we're going to be embodying. And we're going to use feeling to manifest because feeling is essentially your frequency and that's how we manifest. And I want you to just know I don't mean you have to be positive all the time because there's no emotions that are good or bad. Emotions are just emotions. We're not labeling them as good or bad. And the thing is that we spoke about this so many times now, like when an emotion comes up, we don't want to stuff it down and be like, oh shit, I can't manifest with when I'm feeling sad. So I'm going to push it down. That's not going to work because that when you push it down, it's still staying, the energy is still staying within your body and within your aura and within your vibration. And they're almost like these little spikes in your aura. So they're going to be fucking with your vibe, whether you know it or not, they're there. So allow that emotion to come up. They say an emotion will only last 90 seconds. So we're trying so desperately to avoid 90 seconds of pain that we will stuff it down within our body and hold on to that pain within our body in order not to face it. Allow that emotion to come up. Something sucks, cry your fucking eyes out. Eat some ice cream, get that emotion out of you, then shake, rage dance, scream, punch a pillow, do some tapping. So many times I have done tapping and I've been crying because I'm like, I'm not good enough. I know I couldn't do this. Who do I think I am? I'm no good, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like crying my eyes out because I'm releasing this emotion. And then I remember who the fuck I am. And then I find my evidence to support my new belief system. I'm like, no, actually, I know that I'm capable. I know that I can do this because of X, Y, and Z. So do allow emotions to come up. You know, things are going to happen. Life's going to happen. PMS is going to happen. Like, it's okay to have emotions, but we need to be better at processing them. And then we want to tap into the feelings that will lead to inspired action. And that's going to be one of the next videos, is inspired action. What does that look like? How can we determine what the difference is between hustle and taking inspired action? And I'm going to talk through all of that, so you know what it looks like and feels like and how to do it. And where can you find more joy in each day? Because that's one of the best frequencies to be on. Our inner child within us is craving that joy. Like, I just watch Oscar be who he is in every moment. And it's such a magnetic aura to be around. Like, people always say to me, like, oh, terrible twos. I'm like, I don't know what you're on about. I feel so, so lucky when I get to spend time with him, because he's just like this ball of light and this ball of energy that is just, it's so beautiful to witness him just being him. And like, we really just let him be himself. But it's so cool to watch because he finds joy in everything. Like, I didn't know somebody could be so happy 24/7. And yeah, he has tantrums and he has emotions when things don't go his way, but he will just cry his eyes out, throw a paddy. We let him get all of his emotions out, and then he's like back to normal, back to smiling and laughing the next minute. But I just love how he finds joy in everything. And so I really try to join in with him on that. If he finds something funny, I'm like, oh, what's going on? Like sharing this joy. Like, I really want to be in that with you, because my inner child is craving that so badly. Like, we want to play so badly because there is that part of us where we stopped one day and we were like, oh no, we can't just do things for fun anymore. Like, we're an adult now, things have to be serious. No, allow that joy and that fun to come into your day, because that's an incredible space to manifest from. And get clear on why you want these manifestations, because we think we want the money, but what we actually want is the feeling we think the money will bring. And, you know, the paradox, if that's what it's called, to this is that when you feel the feeling now, the money will come. So it's a really funny thing, because we say, you know, let go of the manifestation. Don't loosen your grip on the universe when you're like, I need £1,000 right now. Well, that's like when you're in a relationship with money doesn't want to show up when you're like that. So when we let go and we learn to feel in the feelings of what we think that money will bring. So when that £1,000 come in, what would you feel? We feel proud, we feel calm, we feel safe, we feel security, we feel rich and abundant and powerful. What are the feelings? Maybe pick like 3. And then how can you feel those feelings now? In what parts of your life can you start to feel and embody those feelings now? If you want to feel powerful, is there an outfit that makes you feel like that? If you want to feel safe, is there somebody you can lean on for safety? Is there a way that you can feel safety somewhere else in your life? Is there a way you can feel security somewhere else in your life? Maybe you could learn to lean on the universe or a partner or a friend or yourself, and have trust in yourself and know that you have yourself and you've got yourself, and look at every scenario when you've needed money and money has been there for you. Every time you thought you wouldn't get through something, you got through it, and you are here, still now, standing here. So if you think money's going to bring you security, I want you to question that, because money has always shown up for you when you needed it. Every time you had a bill that needed to be paid, money was there. Somehow, some way you have made it here. And if it wasn't money, who was it? Was it a partner? Was it a friend? Was it a family member who had your back? That gives you security if you have people around you that can do that for you. So how can you find those feelings now? Because the minute you start to feel those, then I mean really, really, really feel them. Don't just say these things. I want you to feel it in your body. You are changing your vibration. And then your feeling is your frequency. And I want you to always remember that. So when you're feeling a certain way about money, be aware. My feeling creates my frequency. So how am I feeling right now about my bank account? Okay, this is a signal to me that I need to change something. Okay, I'm feeling nervous. I'm feeling anxious. I'm feeling a bit sick. I feel black. I feel broke. Okay, what can I do about this? Okay, I've got my tools. Let me tap on this. Let me meditate on this. Let me journal on this. and let me shift this feeling. So, some daily questions you can ask yourself to help yourself get into this version of you every single day. So, what can I do today to embody this version of myself? What would my higher self have me do today? What does the millionaire version of me act like today? And you can get super creative here. You can ask yourself any questions, whatever you want. But I want to give you some examples because you could wake up in the morning and be like, okay, what does the millionaire version of me do today? What would she have me do? You can even ask yourself, like, Emma, what would you have me do today to get me to my goal in the quickest, most aligned way? And just start acting like that version of you that already has it. Because when you start embodying, you are literally quantum leaping and moving into a different timeline. As always, if you've got any questions, please feel free to reach out. I had an amazing few chats with some of you today, and it's just been so nice. And I really just love the back and forth and like really diving into all this stuff. Like, I don't know everything. So ask me. And if I've got the answer, great. And if not, I will find the answer for you and we'll work it out together. And I'm super, super excited to see you here tomorrow. And like I said yesterday, please just make sure you are actually doing this work. Like, get your journal out, write these things down, start actually doing the inner work, because there's no point just listening. We need to actually implement what we're learning. So thank you so much. And thank you for being here with me. And I'll see you tomorrow.